dear students. Please tell me if you can hear my voice. I have a uh, line problem. So my name is Muhammad Akram Ramadan. You can call me Akram. I'm a PhD candidate from Center of Mathematical Sciences, University Malaysia Pahang. So this is my academic background. I'm a Bachelor of Applied Science, Honors Operations Research USM. So how many students from Operations Research?
I think they are around 10.
Oh, 10. Yeah. 10. I don't remember during my time, during my study, how many of us. It's okay. Then I further my study to for Master of Science, Computational and Theoretical Sciences at International Islamic University Malaysia, Kuantan, at Kuantan. Yeah, Kuantan Pahang. So, to next slides. So, before we start, may I have the opinion from the from the students? What is Shapley value social concept from the we say as a layman understanding? Doctor, have you teach them?
I just teach them today.
Oh, today.
Yes, yes.
So then I have maybe one or two students to share their first perception or what they think when they heard about Shapley value. Anyone want to share before I proceed? How many students for today, Doctor?
30 is supposed to be 37, but until now we have 32. Yep.
32 for today. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So maybe we will have one or two students to share with me. It's not about the theory first. It's about your understanding. Your first understanding when you heard about Shapley value solution concept.
I think it's okay. Akram, can you just continue first? Maybe some of them still digesting the concept.
Okay. I will proceed. Okay. So the important thing of Shapley value solution concept is the term is fairness or fair. Adil. It's a fair concept. So from the picture, we can see that the equal and the fair comparison, how Shapley value social concept want to tell us about. Okay, there's a fair concept. You can see the second picture that everyone can see with the different box under their legs. Yeah, so that's we call as a fairness. The importance of Shapley value social concept. Figure, there's a person A, B, and C. We can see if they cooperate together, they can have more. We call it as a payoff one. Payoff. We can say as a payoff or benefits. So here it is some of the simple explanation for Shapley value solution concept. I will share my paper after this, but I just want to make it clear about the Shapley value solution concept. So it's a fair. The first thing is a fair allocation in cooperative game. So Shapley value solution concept. We discuss the method in the cooperative game. You collaborate. The players collaborate together. Okay. The second is allocating an amount proportionally to the benefit each coalition derives from having a specific player as a member. Meaning that the amount that each member adds to a coalition, we pay the player based on how many they contribute to the coalition. So we don't pay everyone do their works, then we pay everyone same amount. So that's not fair. That's equal. So for the fairness, we pay a player or person to work to the works need to be done. So players who add nothing should receive nothing, and players who are indispensable or contribute more should be allocated a lot. fairness concept. So the question is, how do we figure out how much benefit each player adds to a coalition? So we have Sir Shapley came up with a way. I refer this to a Ian Barron, 2013 Game Theory and Interaction. So you can have this book, USM library. I went there during 2018 to refer this book during my degree study. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, the pronunciation is Liot Shapley. Am I right, Dr. Majid? Liot Shapley?
Yes, yes, yes. This is the guy.
Yeah, Sir Liot Shapley. Okay. Oh, I noticed it should be in the font should be in white color.
No worries, no
So
worries, no worries.
this okay. So Sir Shapley was born during June 1923 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Okay, he was a professor, emeritus professor of mathematics at University Los Angeles, Los Angeles, and then Los Angeles, he obtained a Bronze Star from the U.S. Army for his service in World War II for breaking a Soviet code. If you have watched the film A Beautiful Mind, 2001, we have another game theory, Sir John Nash. Yeah, he am I right, Dr. Majid? Sir John Nash.
Yes, yes, boy, yes.
Yeah, he had illness and he imagined a world. He broke code. But there's nothing related. This is just his imagination. Yeah. But for Sir Shapley, he really breaking a Soviet code. Yeah. So he won the Nobel Prize in economics along with Alvin Roth, awarded in 2012. So I just introduced the formula for this. I believe that Dr. Majid have shown you this formula. For the first time, maybe we can understand directly if we don't have much exercise. So if you can see the Shapley value, it's a transferable payoff of a game. We have payoff allocation. So the first is payoff allocation. And we have the value of C. C is a coalition. So the backslash I is meaning that without player I. Yeah, we calculate the coalition and minus the coalition without the margin. Show you how what's the meaning in the calculation, the easy way. Okay, so this is question describe the expected marginal contribution. Marginal contribution is perorangan lah or individually, yeah, individual player. Okay, then yes, this is during my master study. The title is the portfolio optimization performance during Malaysia's 2018 general election by using non-cooperative and cooperative game theory approach. So since this is a Shapley value talk, so I will just focusing on Shapley value only. So this paper I brought with lecturers from UIA, University Islam Antarabangsa. So for introduction, this research contributes to the game theory study in Malaysia for investment theory and how to make a decision by diversifying our portfolio to get the higher return and lower risk. So the aim of this paper, I try to find the optimal solution selection in framework of cooperative game. So this sector or as a player for this paper, plays financial services, customer product and services, and telecommunications and media. So my strategy is the stock, yeah, Hong Leong Bank, Hong Leong Financial, and so on. So all this player and strategy. Okay. I use stock price as the return of the stock price as the payoff. yeah, for this place. Then after I obtain the return of the price as the payoff, then I calculate the characteristic function. So this is a characteristic function. We have individual player, value of player A, value of player B, value of player C, and value of coalition from player A and player B, coalition from player A and C, and at the end, player coalition among all players. So we call as a grand coalition. Value of ABC. So 0.00886 is a grand coalition, value of the grand coalition. So this is a calculation. I use Excel first and Lingo after this. So if you notice the value here, value of A 3.18, 0.00318, because I make it simple to, because if you use Lingo or other software, sometimes they just 0000 all the values. So I need to times 0 times 8 to the power of 3. So I will have the value. So to avoid the such as Tora, maybe if you use Tora software, then they will give the payoff as 00000. So you cannot get the answer. So I adjust the value. Yeah, since the return of the stop price very small. Yeah, so we need to adjust. So here is the calculation from my Excel. Um, Doctor, have you teach them how to
Just
calculate
today, but I still need to do a lot of exercise.
this? Yes. For the first time, as for me, for the first time, I cannot understand but yeah, make me more clearer from time. So if you can see the column A, column for player A, column for player B, and column for player C, then we have the order of the player. Player A first, player B second, and player C third, and follow with player A first, C become second order, and B become third order, and so on lah. So we have 3 factorial here. There's a 6 ways. So you can imagine if we have more than 3 players, so it's a waste much time if we calculate by our own. I have tried calculate for 5 players if I'm not mistaken. It just waste time. So that's why we use Excel, but we can much of coding lah. Yeah, such as Lingo or R. So I will show you after this the Lingo code. Yes, I'm familiar with Lingo. Yeah. If you want to try, maybe I can give the code, so I can email. For this, I received this code for 5 players, but I adjust to for 3 players only. So I need to adjust for the sum below. Yeah. You can enter the value. Change the value. So the most important in Shapley value, we must have the characteristic function for all players and for all the coalitions among the players. So we need the value. Right. So this is the outcome of the output of the Lingo. Here, I highlight the Shapley value here. The calculation. So Shapley value for A we have 3.286, for B 3.26, and C 2.3. Yeah, this is a answer that Lingo provide to us. All right. So then the weightage of companies in the Shakti optimum portfolio. So from the result, I for this paper I just highlight the Shakti part. So if you want to get the view, the overall view for what I'm doing for doing my master, so you can read this paper because I I'm not just depend on the Shopee value with some of the financial parts. Yeah. So to get the weightage is based on the Shopee optimal portfolio using the Shopee weightage lah. Okay, so for the financial we can see the Hong Leong Bank, just Hong Leong Bank with 37%. Consumer product and services, we have also PPB Group 37%. And telecommunication and media, we have two players, two strategy, Axiata Group and also Maxis. So Maxis higher than Axiata Group. So after this, how Shopee value can improve our optimal portfolio. Before that, maybe what is portfolio? Portfolio, if have many stocks or our investment, so we can have many stocks in our portfolio. We call this a group of stocks because we want to increase our return. So this is the outperform Shopee optimal portfolio towards the knife classification means average. Yeah, average. The way we allocate our money based on Shopee is higher than we allocate based on the average percentage. Yeah, that's a knife diversification, average percentage. So we just calculate 100% with all companies. We just allocate if we have 10, then 10% for each company. So based on Shopee, it suggests we can obtain more compared with when we use the knife diversification. So you can see the graph. The Shopee optimal portfolio outperform others weightage lah. So knife diversification lower than the Shopee. So we can see that our money we can get when we invest 100,000 ringgit, we can get more with Shopee Shopee optimal portfolio. Yeah, with Shopee then the first
Yeah, okay. Continue, boy.
Hello. Okay. So second paper, this year paper. Wrote this paper, Shopee trade-off ranking method for multi-criteria decision making.
I think the slide not moving. Akram?
Yes?
The slide not moving.
Not moving?
Yep. It's still the outperform Shopee optimal portfolio.
Oh. Gerak tak?
Yeah. Now it's moving. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Okay. So this paper, I wrote this paper with my supervisor, Dr. Noizati, and my co-supervisor from Center of Mathematical Sciences, UMP, University Malaysia Pahang. So some introduction of this paper. Again, for this paper, I just mentioned about the Shopee value part because this paper is not only Shopee itself. Okay, this paper is focused on the improved trade-off ranking method by using the Shopee value solution concept in cooperative game theory. The improvement regarding the weights of the criteria is the fairness based. Yeah, it's the keyword for Shopee. From the Shopee value solution concept, this proposed methodology is named acronym STOR method. It's an improved method lah. To adapt independent criteria, this paper proposed that the grand combination criteria are the entire evaluation of the decision-making process. So Shopee, we have the grand coalition. So when hybrid with the criteria. So Shopee value calculation is used to calculate the marginal criteria combination into the overall consideration among criteria and decision makers' preferences during the decision making process. So from OR, the multi-criteria decision making. So one of the field, yeah, banyak kriteria lah. to make a decision. We consider if we want to buy a car, then we need to consider the price, the quality, the color that we want, the maintenance of the car, and so on. Yeah. So all the criteria need to be account. Okay, this is the methodology. Just what I see just now. The safety part is this part only. You provide the criteria and connection criteria. So after that, only I use the safety value. Others, this is another method that I pick with. Yeah. So I will show you the safety part only. So again, if you want to know the overall paper, what have I done? What have you done? Then you can read the paper. Uh, so these 5 players. So we have longer characteristic function, longer row, yeah, and more rows for characteristic function. Yeah, it is impractical if you want to do by your own your calculation. I'm sure in your final exam, maybe there's a 4 players only. If you get 5, then you will not enough for 3 hours game theory exam. So this is Shapley weights, the Shapley parts, the criteria 1, criteria 2, 3, and 4 and 5. This is a Shapley value that I have calculated from this characteristic function. Yeah. From this, again, use the Excel or Lingo, and then I obtain this Shapley value solution concept. Okay, and then for Shapley part, we stop at Shapley value, but for the further calculation, I need to normalize the Shapley value to pair with the trade-off ranking method in multi-criteria decision making. So I have the normalized Shapley value for criteria here. So this is my suggestion for weightage, yeah, weights for criteria using Shapley value. So this is a calculation for my for this paper. I use the R language. Yeah, actually you can Google it. Then I also Google the code, but we need to understand and change it by ourselves. Yeah. So again, you can ask me if you want to try this code. I can email. Yeah, this using R. So Dr. Majid, I just screenshot from my paper because I try copy, maybe my R language uh, problem. I got problem in my R language, so I cannot.
Bisa. No worries, no worries, no worries, boy.
Jumpa. Okay.
Tak apa, tak apa, tak apa.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for interesting presentation on Shapley value, especially on two different fields. One on the portfolio, next is the selection of the rank, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and actually it's also good because you're also able to let us know that Shapley value also can be calculated using Excel, using R,
Lingo.
using Lingo, Torah, and also might be Python. Correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I open for the discussion. If any of you want to ask more regarding Shapley, don't worry regarding how to calculate it. We can do it on the coming Monday. But if we want to need to know more regarding Shapley from our brother here, Brother Akram, you are always can ask him now. Anyone?